Hi everyone. Good to be back again. My name is Bowen, and one of the co-founders of Proximity. Um, yeah, basically. Wait a second. Second. Shall we start?
Yeah. All right. So near is boss.
Yes. Cool. All right. Yeah. Hi everyone. My name is Bowen, and one of the co-founders of Proximity. And basically, Proximity Labs is the DeFi arm of Near. So anything DeFi related, and you wanted to do in the Near ecosystem, don't go to the foundation, go to us. So because if you go to foundation, they will still direct to us. We basically we are spun off from Near Core and Near Foundation with a focus to go under the ground to work more closely with DeFi founders, liquidity providers, VCs, to together build an ecosystem. And first of all, I wanted to thank SEB for their kind host and organizing this event. It's awesome. So I think the first question, I wanted to start this presentation with the first question. Right? When you hear about Near protocol, if anyone heard about Near protocol before, yes, okay, cool. A few. When you hear about Near protocol, what are the first things that come up to your mind? Do you want to try?
NFT?
NFT. Okay, cool. Any? Non-EVM. Solana. So yeah, I like that. Yes. So that's the. I think it's a great opportunity for not only for like us to present what's more exciting in the journey ahead. It's also for us to, as the ecosystem builder, to learn, right? From a dev's perspective and from the user's perspective, the business identity, right? What stands out for the Near protocol and how it differentiates to the market. And that's where we usually see how we attract developers, attract users, and build customer loyalty and build customer convictions, right? So this is basically the question that intrigues me all the time. And I think if we ultimately can find that solution to this question, I think we can do great. And hope through this presentation, each one of you can learn a little bit about what's journey ahead, what we're building, what our focus is. Okay. There'll be two presentations. One is from Proximity side and with a demo from Refinance, a demo about blockchain operating system. And later on, the second session will be orderly network, liquidity layer on Near, that's specialized on building on-chain liquidities. So the agenda will be, I'll give you a little bit background about what is Near and what is Proximity, and and also the ways to build business identity for Near. One is BOS, one is, Near. Near is known as a sharded blockchain, proof of stake, layer one, that is fast, cheap, and scalable. Okay? So today, each transaction cost is at less than 1 cent, with the transaction probably one of the fastest transaction finality in the market, okay? 1 to 2 seconds. It's usually 1 second per block and 2 second transaction finality. And today we have about 24 million accounts and daily transactions about close to 500,000. And there's all sorts of applications on there, and including NFTs. The founder's background, Alex and Ilya. Near was for a period of time known as the ACM gold medalist chain. At peak, we had about, sure. Go. Yeah, at the peak, we had about 6 gold medalists building together on the Near protocol itself. And Alex Skidanov, the first employee or number one employee at MainSQL, and Ilya, I think not many people know this, but he's actually one of the co-author of Transformer AI model that is widely used and including used in the ChatGPT model. Well, and a little bit of fun fact, Near was actually built initially as a machine learning company and pivoted towards blockchain. And proximity. Proximity basically, this includes some services that we provide. We are a research development entity. We're non-profit oriented. We had a large grant from the foundation and spun off. We focus on ventures, give out grants and investments, giving out strategy and advisory to project and founders. And we also do infrastructure buildings. We do, for example, we built the first MetaMask compatibility to a non-EVM environment that's called NETH. And we keep iterating the product. And the focus is really just here to improve user experience. And also BOS. BOS was initially built as a side project by one of our co-founders at Proximity. And later on, we expanded. I think it will be very fascinating and could be quite interesting for all the developers to work together and echo with the thesis of what Near wanted to do, which is a mass adoption. So yeah, we'll cover a little bit more on that later. And also we do research. If you go to Proximity Medium, we actually publish about our research on our perspectives of the DeFi market and also what's new in our ecosystem. Yeah, also still backgrounds. The current DeFi landscape, we have AMM, Curve AMM, constrained liquidity AMM. We have all sorts of different money markets, EVM, non-EVM. For EVM environment, we still have Aurora, which is EVM layer on here. And we have liquid staking protocols, and we have order books. Orderly is probably one of the most prominent one. And infrastructure, we have aggregators, we have wallets, fiat on-ramp, off-ramp, bridges, stable coins, native USDT just launched on Binance as well. So you can withdraw and deposit native USDT from Binance, and native USDT is coming. And we also in talk with them to launch CCTV on here. And there's the portfolio dashboard, Pulsar. I think when they initially started on Cosmos, and later on they expand on here. And there's analytics, PeakSpike, and PikeSpeak, and more importantly, decentralized front end, which I will cover in more detail. So in the past year, basically, we've been building, we're working on the groundwork, right? Doing the groundwork, building the infrastructure, building a more complete ecosystem. And really the next step is a more exciting part for us to shape our business identities. Okay? If you were in the workshop last time in SAB about a month ago, we were really talking about Near as the next trading chain and our thesis around that and our strategy and tactics around that. And I'll let Orderly Kim to later on to elaborate on that a little bit more. And today we're gonna, I'm gonna focus a little bit more on Near is the blockchain operating system. Yep. So blockchain operating system is basically a common layer for browsing and discovery, open web services, and compatible with any blockchain. That's a key highlight. So here is a demonstration of the tech stacks, and I think the underneath is the layer, the blockchain part, the data platform part, and the wallet part is usually the way we see that. We built from the bottom, very bottom, the blockchains and the L1s or L2s that is really optimized for securing the data and have reaching consensus to validate each transactions. And will we see that? I'll probably, can I sit down? So we see that BOS is basically the way that enable us to improve on the front-end experience of different applications, right? So we have the backend, and right now the application services is really like what we see that is fragmented. If you want to access different applications, you need to hop on and off into different platforms, and the user experience started improving with like portfolio platforms like DBanks and etc. But the accessibility of those and creativity of those user journeys and user experiences is still kind of like quite boring, right? You only can access a single point. There's no one unified experience like everyone wanted to decentralize Binance, right? And Binance is really a single point where you can trade spots, trade perps, do margin trading, and do lending, and have like education and access all sorts of data. But on chain, everything is scattered around, right? And where we see BOS and BOS positioning is where it's a layer on top of the existing applications to bring composability and bring decentralization to all those applications. And basically, BOS is basically BOS is it's a way people can build application, build every application on chain, and including front end itself will be stored on blockchain itself, on blockchain also. And what it brings is it like one second, I lost my mind for a bit. So once all this blockchain, once all this front end are stored on chain, right? All these applications, what we call the components, are actually linked to each other, right? It can be like retrieved and rendered to users, and if you see a layer on top of what we call the gateway, is a way to like present those components to where users can access all these components, right? And the way to like compile this application together. So if you go to here, go to near.org right now. Oops, yeah. Near.org today is really a gateway example of how BOS can be, right? And in this place, you have discover, you see components. If you go to components, every applications deploy their front end on Near will be presented here, right? You can see all sorts of different kinds of applications, and including like you can also see, and this, it's actually not limited to. Sorry. Wait. Okay. Yeah. There's actually Lido components, right? You can build Lido component. You can build any kinds of applications across a blockchain and install them on there, and I can access in a single UI, and as long as users has logged into the wallet, and they can access all this application in like one unified UI without leaving this place, right? For example, Linear is one liquid staking applications on here. They built the component on BOS, and you can really just access that, right? And there's also, so for example, Burrow. It's, oops. yeah, this Burrow Cache. Burrow Cache is a lending platform on there, and you can you can see that without going to a different UI, and it does not need you to sign in another wallet and prove another transactions. You can like deposit and withdraw or lend assets in this lending platform. Right? And yes, so there's different kinds of gateways, and what BOS enables is like one single entry point to all these applications, and solve the problem of fragmented experience of all the applications, and with a focus to improve UX. Right? Yeah. So what BOS, and also here's an example, right? BOS components actually be like multi-chain. It can be as small as individual NFT renderings. It can as big as a full app. Right? Refinance, which they will do a demo later. It's a they are aiming towards to build a one-stop shop, right? DeFi experience that has all sorts of functionalities embedded into their platform. And yeah, currently there's quite a few BOS component built, and there's Canto. Yeah, someone from our team actually hacked on this and probably deploy in one night. It's a Canto swap that is deployed on there, a decentralized frontend and deploy on there. You can really just sign in with your MetaMask and do those all these swap transactions. There's Lido. With one wallet sign in again, it does not. You don't need to log out of this and go to different UIs, go to different addresses. It just, you can access everything as long as like the components are available. So yeah, and who should run a gateway? We see that gateway is really the place that provides the access point to all these components, and gateway can be a lot more creative, right? Because like, for example, I'll give you some examples of a gateway. How can they be? Like, for example, people are probably we see some liquidity start farming on ZK-Zinc right now. They probably most of their addresses are there to farm ZK-Zinc airdrops, right? And for them to do those kind of activities, they need to bridge. They need to find the correct swap on ZK-Zinc, and probably do some lending and borrowing, and do some testnet transactions. And for those experiences, that can be quite cumbersome, right? First of all, you need to like search for the right applications for you to access, and second, you need to go on and off to all sorts of applications. And what BOS can do is someone can actually run a like ZK-Zinc specific gateway, right? And that gateway aggregates all the working available components on the ZK-Zinc, and it opens a testnet link, and it opens the testnet component. It has a Zinc swap component. It has a bridge component, and people can just come here to complete everything they wanted in the one single unified UI, and people can actually be more creative, even more creative, and have a portfolio view page where they can have a checklist and check users have completed all these actions, right? So it's a way to, we see that it's a layer on top of existing applications. There's half a step closer to the users, where we can be a lot more creative and actually offer like a lot more user flexibility and user journey creativity, right? This is just one example of gateway, but if you are an existing applications, you should probably thinking about if you want to build components or build it and actually host a gateway. And the advantage of hosting a gateway is it provides a single access point. So like users can actually come to your website. If you can develop a user journey that is better than anywhere else, and aggregates all this functionality you think that users will want to use, and you can actually accumulate customer loyalties and build user traffic and user attractions, right? And users do, like, the beauty of this is users actually do not need to leave your website. And you can try to, in the process, try to like commercialize it, monetize it, or things, right? Or if you are existing applications, I think it's more relevant to the foreground here. You can think about, like, previously you think about like what are the services you can provide as a like a specialized service you can provide it to the users. Now you can, like, you do not need to limit your imaginations, right? You can think about what kind of available components in the market are there that can be complementary to your services, so you can like specialize on your verticals, and instead of building more functionalities, you try to like bring all the available components in your website and only specialize in one sector, right? It allows you to like focus on things that's, I think, small or newer startups or applications probably better to do. Yes. So here's an example of experiences. On the top, there's a Monopoly game built, and on the right, on the left, there's a social component that is built on top of BOS, and on the bottom, there's the on lending and borrowing part, and on the right, there's NFT part. Previously, it's all scattered around, right? But with BOS, you can think about how do you want to compose all this together, right? If you want to, how it can be really like, we probably don't know what is the best part to provide the access point, but like depending on which angles of a business you wanted to build, you can actually like try to think about, right, how you can compile all this component together and build a better user experience, right? And the effort will be so low because all you need to do is to find available BOS component and try to fork them or just take them and render into your gateway. Okay. Yes. So experience matters. It's BOS decentralized front end. It's a way to leverage existing smart contracts, financial and socials. So yeah, and I think it does not only limit to DeFi or NFTs or social files and things, right? People actually can build notifications, right? Can build chats in one single place. And like one cool example, like I usually refer to is WeChat mini apps. If you guys have used WeChat, one of their core services is actually the mini app, where users can just logging into their WeChat, going to the WeChat application without leaving the WeChat app. There's all mini applications that provide accessibility to different services that user would want to. Right? For example, you can create a Uber mini app that is embedded in the WeChat UI, and with one WeChat account sign in, you can access all these services. And that's where BOS is going. And we see it as a two-sided marketplace where even better than WeChat mini app, it's a web place where developers can easily meet users. Right? It's a place for users to come in to find and discover cool activities, and to refine their user journey. It's where devs can lighten the process of deployment and reach out to users. Right? For example, if you build a swap, you can actually maybe ask DeFi Llama to embed your swap into their UI, and there will be user traffic, and it will be so light, right? And everything is stored on chain, and it was decentralized front end. There's probably less legal barrier for them to host those. Right? For example, like DYDX, yeah, they're restricting US and Canadian customers, and someone can build that, right, and host services for those people. And another example is maybe Tornado Cash. Okay? Someone can decentralize Tornado Cash on here and just provide access to the people who want it to use. Yeah, here's if you go to near.org and open each component and try to modify on those, they're actually embedded component for edit for preview. On the left hand side, you can see all this code, and on the right hand side, you can actually click preview, and you can actually try to modify those locally and publish it. If you publish it, the ownership of this component will be linked to your wallet, and you'll be the only person who are able to fix this or edit this. Yeah, here's another example of how Lido you can play around. It's on boss.gg or near.org. If you can open it, you can view the source code of front end. You can modify it to think according to how you think Lido can be and how Lido can be embedded into your applications. Future roadmap. Here's one future roadmap I think quite exciting. Fast authentication. It's only because we see that BOS as a fit for the near blockchain because echoing a little bit back to characters near, right? Fast transaction finality and scalable network. It's sharded, right? Storage is sharded on here, and also the account model system works very well. Was the BOS net direction that we see. So fast authentication is one feature that will be deploying in very soon future, probably in this month. It allows email recoveries with MT, and you can actually log in with your Face IDs or fingerprints, and actually try to link them not only to near accounts, but also to your Ethereum accounts. Right. Meta transaction is already live. You can pay gas. You don't need near. It probably just can be paid in ETH or USDT. So yes, hope that's some information you can learn about Near as a blockchain operating system. And yes, and so Near was known as a sharded blockchain, a layer 1, but it's actually not limited to its identity, right? It's a data platform. It's a developer tooling. It's a blockchain protocol. It's a multi-chain interoperability layer. It's a composable front end layer. It's a way to fast onboard users. It's a social graph. It's a way to actually. It's a way. I think it's a way to basically lower the barriers. For more devs to collaborate and for more users to have better access point to services they need. Yes. So here's the section, and for demonstration purpose, I'll let Refinance team to give you a good demo about how BOS Gateway, how they think, because they've been working with us along the journey, right? How they think BOS Gateway can be presented and how services, how they see BOS can be used to improve user experience and service. Yeah.
Okay. I'm Marco. Nice to meet you all. I'm from Refinance, and no worry, I'll make as quick as possible for the remaining parts. Okay. So before we dig into the BOS-related work, let me talk a little bit about Refinance first. So, what is Ref? It is a sustainable and currently top one DeFi platform in Near ecosystem, providing users with this one-stop shop DeFi experience. Just as Bowen mentioned before, we take the Near as the the trading chain. So we have this DCL and mempools. Here DCL means stands for discrete concentrated liquidity. And we have order books backed by orderly, who is our near-defined liquidity layer. And these two things are integrated into one unified front end, as shown in these first two screenshots. And in our portfolio manual, as shown in the third one, we have integrated other DeFi apps in the near ecosystem, including from like the simply liquidity staking to stable coins, from like lending protocol to margin trading and perpetual contracts. In addition, it's expandable. Actually, it would be expanded as long as there are some new, interesting, and maybe promising DeFi app emerges. In the journey of building Ref, we always take user experience as priority and prepare for the mass adoption of NEAR. With the DeFi building experience, we have recognized some common obstacles in this area that would seriously sabotage user experience, like different backend smart contract would require multiple signing approvals. And like those user experience is fragmented among those steps, like service scalability is always limited. All those factors inevitably turns out to be some boring UX. Yes, so we believe BOS is the one that could tackle all those problems, would unlock all those limits. And BOS allow us to build decentralized one-stop shop products. Like our work, this work Shen is just one of these kind of products. Technically, this Shen is a DeFi-focused gateway, DeFi-focused gateway powered by BOS technology. And according to the current our design, it would include at least 3 steps. The first one is to be compatible with BOS standards and focused on NEAR ecosystem. You could see those pictures in the middle. They are components. And on the right behind of, on their right, it's a development scenario. It shows that you could have a quick online development experience just on the gateway. And for those large pictures on the left, they show that components could be well composed into something we call templates in our gateway to provide better user, to provide better functionality and user experience, powered by builders' creativity. The second stage is to expand to other chains. BOS has this ability to allow those apps from different chains, even using different wallets with different user accounts, to be fitted into one place and serve user requirements in one piece. That is all in one. The third stage is to bring up user customization in an express way, like in one click, such as we have customized homepage, favorite list, and user portfolios. Thanks to BOS technology, we have the ability to collaborate with various apps from various places. So the future of this gateway is unlimited. Okay, now comes to the demo section. Due to the time limits, we will have a quick go through. Okay, I have already registered in advance to save some time. Here you show our default homepage. There are two tabs. This one is templates list. This one is components list. For this components list, we will see some components just described by Bowen. You would see just the same one, this linear liquid staking things. Yeah, okay. We could try to use it. Like we could stake like 2. Okay, it will initiate a transaction to the backend. And it goes to the wallet to do confirm. So one action, one confirm. No need to to log into the different backend. But for the component, you could see this component is only provide functionality of stake. So if you want to unstake linear, if you click this, it will link to another page. So yeah, so that is component. But for the templates, in these Xbox templates, we will see the similar ones like near to linear. But in this one, we could see the both stake and unstake functionality exist. So it's kind of some difference between templates and components. Templates is more delicate and full functional and more user-friendly and task-oriented. So for templates, we have like Xbox is something like you could see some 2 different products in one page. That is a linear near staking and a XREF staking. So templates could also has the ability to combine different products into one page, and they only need to register to the gateway itself. No need to register to the individual products itself. Also, you could, like if you like Xbox, you could apply as homepage. Is what we just talk about the third stage, the customize. So in this way, you could see your homepage would be this Xbox, not this one, not this default homepage. Okay, so another template I want to share is this ref home. It combines lending protocol with swap. That means you could lending, like we could withdraw some assets and then go to the swap, go to the token swap to swap it. And in this swap, you could do any, like token exchange. Like it would always combine different transactions into one shot. Due to the time, I won't go deeper. So there's another feature I want to mention is this. Default, we have this user mode, but we can change it to the builder mode. With this builder mode, you could see like develop this page. You could fork the code of other people's, and you could do some modification. If like this Xbox, you could render the preview. Yeah, and you could like just, if you do some modification like, yeah, sorry. If we erase this, yeah, nothing would, yeah, it's empty. Actually, you could do some more practical code working here. It's just a demo. So, Yeah, I guess that's all the demo now. So let's go back to here. Yeah. So now this is the last page. Thank you for your listening. And anyone who are interested in our gateway or BOS technology, or anyone who are gonna build dApps, no matter DeFi or NFT or social or some GameFi, you are all welcome to have a close look at our gateway and BOS. Just reach us through this QR code. Yeah. Thank you again, and this word, we are gonna make it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, we all gonna make it.